All right, let's stay on the mainstream media tick right now. Let's watch this video with Crystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske talking about CNBC having a meltdown over Zohran. It's like the weirdest shit. Like, the left sometimes, like, they get so scared. They're like, if he wins and he does, like, really bad things, like all the shit you guys talk about? You mean, like, if the dude does the things that we promised people we're gonna do? You know? That stuff? Like, we're not supposed to actually do it. This motherfucker might actually follow through. Like, God damn it, man. All right, let's watch this video.
Recently released their robotaxi in Austin, Texas.
God damn it. Chris Norland keeps trying to play.
Crystal Kyle and friends. Today we're going to be talking to Pastor Benjamin Dixon.
Oh, this is Ben Dixon.
He reached out to me the other week with some concerning information that I want to share with you guys, especially in light of the fact that we had what is effectively a MAGA terror attack that hit in Minnesota, where multiple Democratic lawmakers were killed, others were shot. The right has been gaslighting everybody and pretending that the person who did it is somehow lefty. And so it's a weird...
Yeah, what is the crazy shit they were saying? Okay, so you guys know about the people, the guy that sent a death threat and a letter to Trump, right? And it turned out he had framed this this immigrant, because, like, what was it, Nancy Mace or no, Kristi Noem's DHS, right? Like, she started investigating it, and they were gonna arrest this guy and all this stuff because he had made death threats to Donald Trump. And it turned out it was some white dude that was pissed off at this dude and had forged the letter. Like, we are literally just coming off of that story, and then, like, immediately they're like, no, he sent a letter saying Tim Walz wanted him to do this, that Tim Walz wanted him to take out Amy Klobuchar. Like, we live in such a fucking strange reality where it's like, yeah, Tim Walz, that guy, the dude who though he did a good job. I really enjoyed it. But the dude who couldn't say mean things to J.D. Vance during a debate, the guy who tried to reach across the aisle in a debate with Hitler's vice president, that guy, that guy's got contract killers. Like, oh, fuck off.
New environment here where we have political violence on the regular and zero accountability for it. I mean, that thing fell out of the news in like 2 days.
Yeah. Well,
maybe even a day.
Trump started a war with Iran, and yeah, then it fell out.
He's like, oh shit, one of my supporters, he did bad things. He did bad things quick. Bomb Iran.
But I mean, the fact that sort of thing is now just becoming kind of like background noise.
Nixo, thank you, first of all, for being over there on Twitch. And second, I'm still waiting for those charges, okay? I'm still waiting for that to come out. Like, dude, you would not surprise me. Let me just say this. What Nixo just said. Nixo just said, okay, that J.D. Vance got the Pope and that was his high value kill, okay? You cannot convince me right now that we one day do not find out that J.D. Vance somehow took the Pope out in the hopes of getting an American Pope through the door, and they did not do their background investigation. They didn't look at his history to find out that just because he was American didn't mean he was, like, pro-Second Amendment and pro, like, bombing everybody's house. Like, JD's like, Trump comes, JD comes back, Trump's like, what the fuck? I thought we were getting our guy in there. JD, you're supposed to go there. You're supposed to take him out. And then we were supposed to get the American Pope. JD's like, nobody told me he was a fucking progressive.
In the way that school shootings previously used to be. I mean, Columbine was like, oh my God.
And now if there's a school shooting, it's like...
barely makes the news.
Yep.
Republicans don't even bother to do thought
it's cute shit.
Yeah, they've given up on that.
Yeah.
I told you, we the conspiracy theorists now.
Unfortunately, maybe heading in that direction with regard to political violence.
That's right. But before we get...
What's happening, Burns? Thank you for stopping by and giving some respect and the good vibes. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
To that, so a few things. First of all,
What's up,
I know,
Miss
Crystal,
Anonymous?
you've been enjoying the absolute meltdown on the right over Zorhan Mamdani winning.
Oh, Andrew Bustamante does? Dude, I should watch that video. I like that guy. I've seen like one video by him, but I did like it. Miss Anonymous, we're gonna have to watch that.
The New York City mayor Democratic primary race, which makes, I mean, I think the betting markets have him at like 75 or 80%. Enjoying the absolute meltdown on the right over Zorhan Mamdani, winning the New York City mayor Democratic primary race, which makes, I mean, I think the betting markets have him at like 75 or 80% to win the whole thing.
Well, Bill Ackman is leading a write-in campaign.
Good luck, fella. Good luck.
He
Bill
says he's
Ackman.
in group chats that
I
have hundreds
fucking
of
hate
millions
that
of dollars
guy.
of capital available.
That's all.
Bill Ackman, the guy who fell for a Twitter account named the Black Insurrectionist, which was ran by a white dude on the East Coast that was a scammer. Bill Ackman, just sit the fuck down. Sit it out, brother. Like, just sit this shit out, okay? Go hang out somewhere else. Can we deport Bill Ackman? Is that a possibility?
All they have is capital. That's all they have is money, right?
If throwing money at the problem
It's
was
all
going
in
to
his
work, then
eyeliner.
Cuomo would have been the
Yeah,
Democratic
Cuomo
nominee.
outspent him like, what, 10 to 1,
was
20 to 1, 30 to 1,
preposterous,
some
yeah.
ridiculous, insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, the meltdown has continued, and now what we've seen is on CNBC, the financial news network, which, by the way, for the record, in my estimation, is just as bad, if not worse, than Fox News. And I say that because you go back to the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis and Great Recession.
Oh, yeah.
All they would do is bring on the Wall Street.
Yeah, 50 Cent, Alan. 50 Cent's dumbass. Okay, I don't want to say some shit that's going to get me terms of service on YouTube, but let me just say this. When I saw that, I was like, you know, something happened to 50 Cent a long time ago, and yeah, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say because TOS. But let's just say it's too bad he survived it.
Wall Street CEOs who are criminals and be like, tell us your side of the story, and then cover for them, even though they tanked the global economy and screwed over their workers and stole tax money and bonuses.
Yeah.
Right? So these guys are the worst of the worst. Here's their reaction to Zohran winning.
Gotham. Have you seen what Batman is up against in Gotham and what the guy...
What the fuck does that mean? Have you seen what Batman is up against in Gotham? Like, Zohran is some kind of fucking villain. Like, he's some kind of, like, super villain. Bro wants to make shit a little more affordable. He's talking about, like, government-ran grocery stores, which I run a grocery store. I can tell you guys, like, I don't know if the government's going to be real good at that, but we can give it a try. We could definitely give it a shot. He's talking about, like, giving fucking newborns money. Like, this is the fucking dumbest timeline. That's a super villain? Why? Because he's brown? Because he's Muslim? Like, Jesus Christ, what is this fucking rhetoric?
Running for mayor is up against... That's what it reminds me of. They're taking Wall Streeters and making them walk out onto the ice in the East River as a...
Oh, never mind. It's because this guy knows that he's one of the guys that's going to lose out. Oh, okay.
And then they fall through.
Yep.
I mean, there is a class warfare that's going...
So what's happened here?
Yeah, there
is.
is.
A rich type...
It is not the closing of a steakhouse
I've seen
that
this one.
David Zaslav likes to, and you like to go to. Well, you and I have had dinner there a few times.
Yes. And you and I are going to recreate that place.
The rent's too high. You know what? The new mayor, potentially, of New York is going to freeze the rents, and everybody eats for free, so they don't have to worry.
Really?
Yeah.
But how about the rich?
No.
Do they get shot?
No, yes. They get taken
Are
away.
we kulaks?
Yes, they
Is
get
this
taken away.
Lenin
We have to go.
in 23?
Throwing
We
it
have to
out
leave
there.
now,
I'm not
but
John
everybody
Lennon.
else, there he is. Mamdani.
Maybe he's more modern.
Look at these bitches, dude. Oh, my God. Look at them, dude. Like, dude, could you be a bigger pussy, dude? Like, oh, my God. You're so fucking sad that the middle class might actually get something. Jesus fucking Christ, dog. Look at your suit. How much is that suit worth? What do you get paid per year? You're so fucking mad that the middle class might actually get something. You're up there just fucking dry ass fucking pussy, dude. You are so fucking mad. Holy shit.
Winning the Democratic primary for mayor and potentially the successor of Eric Adams. That said, there's still a general election to come here in New York. By the way, of course...
He's like, we still have hope. We still have hope, guys. Like, what is going to happen to you? Are you going to not be rich anymore? Are you not going to still have your fucking probably amazing job on fucking CNBC? Bro, your life ain't going to change. Nothing is going to get worse for this dipshit. And he is so fucking mad.
We're here, we talk about it, but we are talking about a $2 trillion economy. It's not nothing.
It is a, you know.
He wants to get the rents down. One good way to do it is to stop all business and drive everybody out. That'll bring the rents down.
That's a very good point.
Right?
To go to Jersey.
This is what I call the inverted morality of the right. They always find a way to take the people who are at the top and pretend like they're the victims. I mean, we see it also with Israel-Palestine, right?
True.
The people with all the money and all the weapons doing the genocide are somehow the victims. In this scenario, but what about the poor Wall Streeters?
Right.
Jesus
What about them?
Christ.
Out of everybody in the city, they're doing the best of fucking
that,
everybody.
Michelle?
Also, look at the policies he's actually proposing. It's like free buses, which is something like 70 to 80% of New Yorkers support.
There's no such thing as a free bus, Crystal.
Freezing the rent.
Dude. How far have we fallen? We were just thinking maybe we could get a free bus ticket. It'd be pretty dope, you know, if we could just have like free bus rides. And they're like, no, fuck you. It's just a free bus ride. I was just hoping to maybe get some, you know, so I could get to my job, so I could pay my taxes and my high-ass rent and my high-ass grocery bill. I was just hoping that I wouldn't have to pay the $2 for the bus. That would be dope. And they're like, no! If we do that, we go straight to communism! First it's free bus rides, and then all of a sudden fucking people are dragging rich people out in the street and shooting them. We know how this goes. We've seen it before. What the fuck is this?
Just for rent stabilized apartments. Like, none of this, any European city, you know, if a mayor proposes stuff, it's small ball stuff. And yet they have a total meltdown. It reminds me so much of Chris Matthews.
Dude's not even a senator. He's not even, it's not like he's fucking getting, like, he's gonna be in some, like, huge position of power where he's just gonna, like, you know, like Donald Trump, just completely fuck the United States of America. The dude's the New York City mayor. He wants to fucking give some kids some money and make bus rides free. It's terrible, guys. Terrible. Everything you heard about Muslims is true. They want to give people free bus rides. The Muslims want to give people free bus rides. Is that in the Quran?
You're going to take him to Central Park and shoot him.
He thinks he's going to get, like, lined up in Central Park in front of some firing squad. Like, it's just so preposterous. And the other thing that drives me crazy about it is in that first portion, he's like, this is class war. Oh, really? How about Trump's tax cut for the rich? Is that class war against the working class?
Yep.
Yes, actually it is. But you never see it when it goes in that direction. How about the fact they're going to take healthcare away from 10 million people? Is that class war? No, you never see that part.
And it could be, you could be like, well, hold on. So you took healthcare away from 10 million people. Does that pay for the bus rides? Can we use the money that you're stealing from the other people in the middle class to help some of the people in the middle class? Hard no? Okay, sorry. Just, the money's there. Where's it going? Oh, to the rich people. Again? Oh, yeah, should have known. My bad. That wealth gap definitely needs to be larger.
It's only when the rich are asked to pay a little bit more so that people can have, I don't know, childcare, pre-K, buses.
Don't get me started, golf.
Make it so it's theoretically possible for people to even live in New York City at this point, and not at its core. Like, Zohran put affordability at the core of his campaign. And for so long, New York City, and specifically Manhattan, has been run for those assholes on CNBC, who, by the way, probably don't even live in New York City. I think Kramer already lives in Jersey, by the way. Many of them live in Connecticut. So many of them are not even New York City residents. But they, whether they live in the city or not, that is who it has been run for. And what he's saying is, look at all these working class people who, by the way, many of them are having to flee the city because they can't afford to live here.
Yeah, doesn't it make sense? Hold on, sorry, Crystal. Doesn't it make sense to make it easier for people to get to work? Doesn't it make sense to make it easier for people to pay their rent and buy groceries? Like, even if you're a fucking rich person, don't you want healthy slaves? I mean, don't you want me to be physically in good shape? You know, not just eating rice and beans, dog? Like, is it too much to ask for that I can get to the job? Like, is it too much to ask for that, like, if I get sick, I can go to the doctor so that way I can get my ass back to work as soon as possible? Like, this is the shit that doesn't make any sense to me. Is like, you know, it's a Steven Pinker thing. A rising tide lifts all boats, man. Like, you have less crime when there's less impoverished people because you incentivize good behavior. I know this. I came from being as poor as you can in America. And I know that when you're that poor and you're not incentivized, you're not rewarded, doing things that are bad are not, the punishment you're not scared of, right? Because you're already living in a really shitty situation. You already can't eat. You already have no hope. So doing bad shit does not at all concern you. But as you work your way through life and get handouts, as I got handouts, food stamps, welfare, my mom was on disability. As I got further and further in life and was given more and more things to help me become more and more successful, I was incentivized to never do any of those things again, right? Like, you're never going to catch me in a fucking grocery store stealing something. But, like, fucking 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 19-year-old, yeah, I would have, because I wasn't incentivized. I didn't know that, like, I didn't have anything to lose. Doesn't it fucking make sense to put people into places where their lives are so good that they don't want to commit crime, because if they do, they will lose the things that they have? How is this fucking, like, even a question?
I am going to reorient this government so it's about those are the people that we're going to try to serve. Those are the people we're going to try to make the city affordable for. And so, you know, that is not a radical vision. That's just a repudiation
dogs and cats, so
of the Michael Bloomberg vision of the city as a quote-unquote luxury good for the, you know, not just New York elite, but truly for the global elite.
Those people have no idea what it's like to be working class. The ones whining about Zohran's policy. You know, like, they have no idea what it's like to be working class. Their idea of oppression, as you heard them right there, our beloved steakhouse might shut down.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Bro, you got people who can't pay the fucking rent.
We went there together, like, this steakhouse.
Dude, that's some total rich people shit. Dude, I'm glad he pointed that out. That's hilarious. We're like, we might get free bus rides, and they're like, but the steakhouse is going to shut down. That, like, you can't encapsulate how much bullshit this is better than that. They're shitting on poor people for wanting to get free bus rides while they're like, our steakhouse, our favorite high-end steakhouse is going to close. Holy shit, man. How did anybody vote for these fucking morons?
This can't be replaced. Like, you got people who can't pay the fucking rent, who are just struggling to get by, who are, like, getting eviction notices, who work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and can't fucking afford dick. And there they are, like, who's going to think of the poor Wall Streeters? Like, you have got to be kidding me, bro. I mean, like I said, 2008, subprime mortgage crisis and Great Recession. These people are the criminals of this country. They are criminals.
Yeah.
How many?
And they're the criminals that never go to prison, right? Like, there's this, like I've always said, like, the middle class is actually, in my opinion, where morality lives, right? Because when you're impoverished, you don't have incentivization to not commit crimes. But when you're a billionaire, you're so out of touch with reality. You have so much access to anything and everything that you could possibly want that you become this weird fucking, like, I don't know, like, morally strange person. Because look at how many of these people commit these, like, fraudulent, like, crimes against the middle class, against the lower class, that they claim are not crimes. Like, what happened when Trump was being investigated for the fraud, in the fraud case, the one that he lost in New York. The guy from Shark Tank, Leary or whatever his name, came out and said, yeah, everybody does that. So what are we going to do? Are we going to start putting people in jail for saying their properties are worth more than they are? That's just what everybody does. And I'm like sitting there going, yeah, motherfucker, that's exactly what we're going to do. Because if I commit a crime, if I don't pay my fucking taxes, if I do any of the things you do, I go to jail. Yeah, that would be exactly what the fuck we're going to do, is that all of you fucking white-collar motherfuckers that are committing crimes and using loopholes and not paying taxes, that, yes, you should be going to jail. Because you're the actual people that fucking raised yourself out of the middle class. Or no, you didn't. You're fucking inherited. What am I saying? And yet you're not incentivized not to commit crimes. Because once you have that much access, you think, why not? Why shouldn't I have that? Why shouldn't I get another cookie? I deserve it. This country is what it is because of me. Well, you know what? It's not what it is because of you. This country is successful because of the middle class. The middle class is the engine of America. The only reason that you have the ability to steal another fucking cookie from the cookie jar is because the middle class works its fucking ass off to provide you with the time to sneak your way into the fucking kitchen and steal another cookie. It drives me up a wall.
Many people lost their homes because of their predatory loan schemes that they used, right? And then, like I said, they got taxpayer money and gave it out as bonuses to the same assholes that bankrupted their companies. Like, these are the villains.
Yeah.
And there's zero reckoning with that. It's that inverted morality thing where it's like anybody who's at the top, anybody who's an oppressor, anybody who's done well, they're actually the oppressed. And the person who is the oppressor is like the Bangladeshi immigrant cab driver.
Right.
70% of their money goes towards rent. It's like, how dare they put their boot on our neck? Like, fuck you, bro.
How dare they exist? I mean, that's the Stephen Miller and the Charlie Kirk and the Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Laura Loomer reaction to Zoran's election is just so masked off, out and out, brazenly racist. That it's, I mean, I can't even say it's extraordinary. It's just like par for the course for these people.
Yeah, but it has gotten more, it's more forthright now than it used to be.
It's just totally out in the open.
I mean, they compared Zoran to fucking Al-Qaeda.
Insane.
And as I said...
Yeah, Charlie Kirk said, we're going to have another 9/11 because of Zoran. That's fucking racist.
Trump literally did a deal with the new leader of Syria, who was a leader of an Al-Qaeda branch, and that they love. Well, but Zoran, some lefty, you're actually Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, he's over in Dubai making deals with people that we are pretty certain have been funding terrorist organizations, and that's not bad, but this dude that wants free buses and to give money to babies, that guy's the terrorist? This is why it's fucking insane. This is why politics are exhausting. Because it's clear that the ultra-wealthy are getting the middle class to fight each other, except for the issue is that one side of the fight is going, hey, we know what's going on. Look, they're the ones causing the fight. That dude over there is trying to get you to fight me because he doesn't want both of us to fight him. And one side is going, they'll take their bowl and go home and then we'll all be poor. You're already fucking poor. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Appears to be pretty secular, let's be. I mean, there's no sign he's like some, religious fanatic whatsoever.
Not. No.
And meanwhile, you want to talk about religious fanaticism, like look at some of the psychos you have in your own government.
Yeah.
Mike
Trump,
Huckabee.
Yeah, Trump sending out that text from Mike Huckabee saying basically like you're on a mission from God to nuke.
Yeah, saying that God talks to Donald Trump. That's crazy.
Iran. Like, you have legit religious fanatics who are in control in the Trump administration, including him himself at this point. Not that he was ever like some devout Christian, but now he thinks he's like literal God, has this Messiah complex. And you're worried about this guy who wants to like make life affordable and have free childcare, that he's going to implement Sharia law in New York City. Like, get serious.
Dude, Sharia law. And what's the worst that would happen? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say he gets into office and he tries to do Sharia law. Do you think that that's just like that's all? Do you think the system, the government system, just goes, oh well, nope, looks like it's Sharia law in New York now. Oh fuck, guess I won't be going to New York anymore. That's not how it fucking happens. That's not how it happens. Okay, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say he gets into office and he tries to give people free bus, free transportation, the money for the babies, the government grocery stores, the rent freeze. He tries to do all those things. And let's say all of those things fail. Does New York City just all of a sudden implode? Does it does it explode and there's no more New York City anymore? Because if that were true, like America would be burnt to the ground already. Like it would already be burnt to the ground because we have had ineffective government officials for millennia, and yet still we're here. Like, so even if you want to, like, worst case scenario, this guy is everything all these people think he is. He's going to do all these crazy things, and they're all bound to fail. Okay, then let him. One of the things that I've said is that there are certain people, when I'm managing, that I can't tell them they're wrong. I have to let them see that they're wrong, right? Because you can go to them and you say, hey, you're doing that the wrong way, and that's going to end badly, and they're going to go, well, I want to do it this way because I like to do it this way. I go, oh, okay, but I'm telling you it's the wrong way to do it. And they go, yeah, well, I think it's going to be better than your way. Oh, okay. That's when I go, this person needs to see that this doesn't work. And then I walk out, and I come back, and when it's filled, I go, now do you see? And they go, oh, okay, maybe I should have done it your way. If you want to, like, be the best faith possible, let the man do his thing. And when it all fails, you can just point right to me, and you can go, hey, look, you said that this guy was going to be good. You said that, like, his ideas were good. You said that the working class is going to benefit from this, and it didn't. And I'll go, all right, it looks like maybe we should choose to do something differently. But that's how things are supposed to work. You're not supposed to just shut down any type of system for the middle class because you're afraid it won't work. Not if you're in the middle class, but if you're an ultra wealthy person, yeah, that's what you would do, because if it does work, that's bad for you. And if it doesn't work, that's also bad for you. That's why the wealthy care so much about this. Because they have the most money in the game.
And then the other part of it that's driving me crazy is Stephen Miller, of course, immediately goes to his great replacement theory.
Of course.
White nationalist bag of tricks. And just claim, oh, if it wasn't for all these immigrants.
Yeah, actually what Pinkerbell said. Meanwhile, Texas lies under the boot of Christian Sharia law. So, yeah. Like, it's just like, we don't like it when this person's doing it, but if we do it, it's okay.
This is what you get when you import the third world. Those are things that Charlie Kirk is saying as well. And it's like, first of all, cut out the racism. Second of all, let's be honest. If it was only white people that voted in New York, Zohran would have won by even more than he did.
Right.
But this was a true multiracial coalition, which is why they hate it and why they have to lie about it. Because his sole strategy is divide and conquer. It's to set immigrants against native-born people, all in service of protecting the wealth of the people we just watched on CNBC. That's the project. And so he can't acknowledge the fact that actually this was a huge coalition of all sorts of races, all sorts of ethnicities, all sorts of religions, native-born and immigrant, and truly a generational reckoning against the mainstream of the Democratic Party. Like, he cannot acknowledge that, because if you see that kind of universalism and solidarity among different races, that's deadly to his disgusting racist project of white nationalism in service of the oligarchy.
This just occurred to me now, but so Stephen Miller basically wants a white ethno-state, right?
Correct.
What are some of the places in the world that are like, not white ethno-states, but like just demographically speaking, they're very, very white? Of course, you think of Scandinavia.
The Nordic countries,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are the Scandinavian countries? They have free college, universal health care, high union rates, strong social safety nets, paid time off. And those are all the policies that this guy's fucking against. So it really just boils down to what? Me no like brown people. Like, that's literally the gist of it, is me no like brown people.
And the religion. And it's also, they want their religion to be the number one religion. They don't like that this guy's what they call a foreigner, because like you said, because then if he gets in and he does well, this is what they're scared of. They're afraid this guy's going to do good. That's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid that he's going to do bad, because if he does bad, that means that they get to use that in the next election, and they can say, look, shit went bad, this guy's terrible, we told you guys he's terrible, and you guys want him anyways. That's going to backfire on us, right? They're not scared he's going to do bad. They're scared he's going to do good. And then people are going to see that, and then people are going to be like, yeah, we want more of that. And, it's funny because, like, years ago, I've said this before, like, in 2016, when people like Bernie, I wasn't for Bernie, because I was like, well, hold on, how do you pay for all these things? Because I was like, I was one of those people. I didn't do any like research on any of his like policies. It just sounded like, you know, like because people were telling me like, you can't pay for this, you can't just have handouts, you can't just do all these things. I was like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. Like we're just gonna go further into debt and all this stuff's gonna suck. And if you would have told me back then that this guy, I probably would have been like, it's bad. Why? Because I was just listening to what people were telling me rather than looking up the stuff and figuring out whether or not it's true or not. If you're a middle-class person, or you're a lower middle-class person, or you're impoverished, you should be looking at what's going on with this guy and go, hey, why can't we just give this guy a shot and see if it works? And if it doesn't work, then I'll agree with you. You know why they don't want that? Because they're afraid it's going to work, and they're afraid that you're finally going to have something that you can latch onto and say, oh, shit, it turns out that some of these socialist policies are actually pretty good.
Here you have this phenomenally charismatic guy who he's got awesome policies, and they can't help themselves but go full mask off. I mean,
that's crazy.
The thing Charlie Kirk said and Laura Loomer said, bringing up like 9/11 and saying, it looks like we've forgotten, because, you know, they never forget shit. God. It looks like, it's like, you're literally just saying, I know there's over 1 billion Muslims in the world.
And this from the people that are like, January 6th happened so long ago.
World, they're all terrorists, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we even allow these people in the political conversation is my question.
It's disturbing.
The political conversation has been hijacked by, like, fucking Nazis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's get...
Tyler, the creator, said it the other day. Too many motherfuckers have a mic. Probably me, too.
them back in the fucking closet, right? Let's shame them out of public existence because they add nothing.
Dude, I will 100% put the mic away. I will 100% make this trade. Charlie Kirk, Tim Pool, all these dipshits that have shows and podcasts, that have an open platform to talk to people, I will 100% step away from doing this shit if that means that we never have to hear from these types of people ever again. I will, without a doubt, happily step away from doing what I'm doing right now if that means that every one of the shitty people with shitty opinions that are holding back real, actual, like, American citizens that are getting shit done, that are, like, producing, that are making life easy on these ultra-wealthy fucks. If it means it's better for the people, I'm 100% for it.
To the conversation. Nothing.
Yeah, things have been put on the table now that just didn't used to be on the table. Like for a member of Congress to just be that out and out brazenly racist.
It's insane.
And it's just like, oh, it's just another day. Or like Randy Fine. Say, oh, let's nuke Gaza.
Yeah, let's nuke Gaza. Let's kill them all.
And this is just a blip on the radar. Like barely goes mentioned.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Rashida Tlaib gets censured for being pro-Palestine.
Right.
But they say, let's murder every Gazan. Yawn. Nobody says anything. Not even fucking Chuck Schumer or anybody. No Democrats are like, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
you know?
And then last thing on this is Cuomo, sources say, is going to drop his bid. So that's positive.
But Eric Adams is running as an independent. Anybody that votes for Eric Adams, if they're not a conservative, if you're a Democrat and you vote for Eric Adams and you're on the left, you have lost the fucking plot. Like, if you vote for some dude that legit was found to be corrupt within the left while he was on the left, and you don't find that to be something that you should stand against, then you're full of shit, man. Like, you shouldn't be, like when Bob Menendez came out and all that shit came out, I told people, I was like, this was before the election. I said, like, you sit there and you say that if it was my side, if Trump was on my side, that I wouldn't hold him accountable. That's bullshit. I didn't need him to be convicted. I saw the evidence. I said, at the end of the day, this dude seems to be taking money. He's corrupt. That's not good. We don't want corrupt people in politics. We don't want corrupt people representing us. And same thing when Eric Adams came out. I didn't hate Eric Adams. I had no reason to hate Eric Adams. But I was like, okay, it looks like he was taking money from some really small foreign governments, some of the weirdest foreign governments you'll ever see in your life. But he is taking money from them. I'm like, okay, well, that's not good, because that means that if he's taking money from foreign governments, that means that he's being influenced by these people. I don't like that. If you vote for Eric Adams and you're on the left, you're full of shit. You're just as bad. You're full of shit.
But you still have, you know, Schumer and Jeffries. Oh, they say they're going to meet with Zohran. Like, this is the Democratic nominee.
Right.
In your city/state. You get behind him. Like, what is the freaking holdup? Okay, great. We're going on to November. Congratulations. We're behind you. How freaking hard is that? It's insane to me that this isn't just like a given that they would, yeah, he won the Democratic, voters spoke in a Democratic primary. This is the guy they chose. Guess what? You may not like him. You may have preferred this freaking corrupt, sex pest, disgusting criminal Andrew Cuomo, but your guy lost. That's democracy. Now time to get behind him and move on. But when it's the left, they never do that.
Hey, guys.
And that's pretty crazy because, like I said, that's the difference between the right and the left, right? Is like the right will, even if there's like some kind of, you know, insane person that wins on the right, whether there's Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert, or if it's just like a regular conservative like Bacon, or Kennedy, like, you know, like any of those guys, like if they win, the right just gets behind them. Trump's fucking a whole different case. If you're not sucking on the little orange mushroom, he will turn against you. But like you take people like Thomas Massey, right, who's a libertarian. He's not really, I guess, I think of libertarians as being right-leaning centrists. You take a guy like him, even though Trump is like 100% hates him, you don't hear shit from any of the other Republicans. Like, they're going to back Thomas Massey because he may not be a MAGA conservative, but he definitely is a right-leaning libertarian that will agree with them on the majority of things that they believe, except for like paying for foreign wars and tax cuts for the rich. And he probably will still vote for those tax cuts on the rich, and that's why they will back him. And the left just never can. The left is like, it's just so fractured in that manner that they can't get their shit together. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And check out that video on the screen now.